Capricorn, this is Joanna from Tarot with Joanna, here to do another reading. Hello, hello, hello. So Capricorn, in today's reading, I'm going to give you two of the Archangel Michael cards. Going to do your reading and then clarify it. So whenever you see this reading will be the right time to see it, whether it's an old reading or not. All right, so Capricorn, let's see what's going on in your reading. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. This is for Capricorn, for their highest good spirit, for Capricorn. Alrighty. So you have trust in the divine purpose. This experience has divine meaning. Healing will come. Know that you are on the path of growth. Wow. So definitely, I hope you're probably going through some kind of healing, you know, letting go of a lot, feeling emotional, stuff like that. Trust the divine, you guys. Trust it. And then it says, open up your spiritual gifts. Remember that your true nature is spiritual, not physical. The angels are sending you messages to guide your soul's growth. Wow. So really pay attention to those signs, because those signs are everywhere, you know, same numbers, you know, things that just happen, things that pop into your mind, you know, at the right time, at the right place, you know, stuff like that. You know, you're just very intuitive. Trust your gut feeling. Like if you're not supposed to be there, then leave. Hello. All right, so Capricorn, let's do this. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. This is going to be for Capricorn spirit. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Let's do this. One for the current. This is for Capricorn, for their highest good. One for the situation. One for the past. Oh. Thank you, Spirit. One for what's hidden. One for the hopes and fears. One for what you need to do now. Oh. One for what you need to work on. And the outcome. Wow. Okay. So, Capricorn, you start off with the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is talking about, excuse me, is talking about, you know, you're reviewing everything, looking at everything, trying to figure out what you're going to do next. You have the Nine of Wands for the situation. The Nine of Wands is talking about that you're feeling very overwhelmed. You're carrying a lot on your shoulders. They're asking you to keep pushing forward. You have the Five of Wands here in the past. It's in the past position, so we're going to keep it there. Maybe you've been feeling, you know, a lot of anger, frustration, you know, arguing, stuff like that. Wow. And then you have the Four of Pentacles up here for what's hidden. You know, they want you to save money. They want you to let go of anything that you're holding on to, especially, you know, the past. You know, really try to let that go when you can, okay? I mean, you don't want to hold on to anything that's been done in the past, okay? Try to really let that go. I feel like there's traveling here. I feel like you need to really find your patience. With the Knight of Pentacles, you know, stop trying to control everything. Let everything just come in its place, you know. You know, things are kind of moving slow. You know, maybe you just you need to find your patience, because, you know, it's in divine timing. Yeah, the Eight of Wands here. The Eight of Wands, there's messages, there's news, you're moving forward, but there's also a lot of change that's going to come through. You have the Six of Swords here for what you need to work on. Six of Swords is talking about, you know, leaving something behind, you know, going to a calmer place. You know, things are going to calm down, but we'll see. Leaving something, you're just leaving something. Here, the Five of Cups is for the outcome. The Five of Cups is talking about that you really need to release that guilt. You know, you have a lot of regret, a lot of guilt, feeling like, you know, you've been let down, you know, disappointed. You know, that you're not really looking at anything that's around you, or looking at any of the opportunities that are there. Wow. Okay. So let us see what's going on. Take what resonates with you, Capricorn, and leave the rest. This is for Capricorn, 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 Capricorn. The Seven of Pentacles. Why is the Seven of Pentacles here? Oh, okay. Whew. Wow, what is this one? Healing. Okay, yep. There it is. Okay. All right, so you guys, you're definitely going through a lot right now. You know, I feel like you're feeling very overwhelmed. You have the Nine of Wands again with the Nine of Wands on the side right here. The Nine of Wands is talking about that, you know, you're tired, you know, you want to give up, you know. They're asking you not to. They're asking you to keep pushing forward, that it's been an emotional drive for you. It has, you know, because you're going through a healing. A healing is here. You're looking at things, you're reviewing things, you're remembering things, you know, and it could be a very emotional roller coaster. But you're definitely going through this healing. I feel like you're just going to be looking at things, trying to figure out your next step. But I feel like you also are very tired. You've been hurt by a lot of things that have been going on in your life. And they're asking you not to give up, to push forward, okay? To keep going, but push forward, not to give up. That there is healing here. You're going to start feeling better, you know. It just takes, it's all in God's timing. It's all in divine timing. Okay, so just know that. But don't give up on anything. Then you have the Nine of Wands here for what the situation, and why is the Nine of Wands here? Wow. Nice. All right, so definitely you're changing a lot. You've been changing a lot. You know, you're tired, you're frustrated, you know. Sometimes you feel like you want to give up. They want you to persevere forward, you know, and not give up, to believe in yourself. There is a new path coming through, so it's nice. You have the Ace of Wands here, and the Ace of Wands is talking about, you know, that you knew things are coming in. The old is leaving, because you also have the Judgment card here. The Judgment is saying that, you know, you yourself are changing. You know, you're changing within you, and things around you are changing. So you're going through this like rebirth thing, you know, rebirth. Everybody's going through a transformation, rebirth, whatever you want to call it. You're all going through a healing right now. They're just asking you to not give up, okay? You know, it is a lot that you're doing. It's a lot that you're going through, but you can handle it. Remember that I always say to my kids, God wouldn't give it to you if you couldn't handle it. Okay, so you can handle anything, Capricorn, you know. And just know there is a new beginning here. It's going to push you forward to something new. You have the Five of Wands here. You're in the past. We're going to keep that in the past. You were very frustrated, very angry, had a lot of anger. Could have been arguing around you also. So let's see what the Four of Pentacles is. Why is the Four of Pentacles here for Capricorn? Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Why is the Four of Pentacles here? One more card. Wow. Okay. So you have the Four of Pentacles. You have the Four of Pentacles there for what's hidden, which is right here. You know, maybe you're holding on tightly to the past. You know, maybe you're trying to stabilize your finances. You know, or create that strong foundation. You know, but I feel like you're definitely holding on to a lot. I feel like you're holding on to the past, and you really need to try to let it go. You see how stubborn he is. He doesn't want to let it go. He does this like, no, you know, you're not going to let me forget. I'm not ever going to forget what has happened, you know, because you still hold on to it a lot. And the reason why you hold on to it is because this is why you're going through all this emotional stuff that's happening. That's why you're going through this healing, because you need to let all these emotions out. You know, you've been hurt very bad. You know, you've been hurt, you've been sad, you've been, you know, it could have been a grief, it could have been some kind of disappointment, some kind of letdown, whatever it is, it's been hurting you, you know, and they're asking you to try to let go of that past. Let it go, you know, whatever it is, let it go. There's a lot of emotions here. You're going to be very emotional, and you're going to continue to be emotional until you finish this healing that you're going through. And it takes time. You'll feel good one day, and then you'll feel, you know, sad, and emotional another day. It's on top of that, we have all these planets shifting around. So, but you also have the Emperor here, and the Emperor is telling me that you are the Emperor. You are the leader. You're the leader. Be the leader that you are. You're able to handle anything, and even this sadness, even this hurt, you're able to handle it, regardless of how anybody says or feels. You're gonna rise up again above it. No matter what. The Emperor. He always has his armor on. Under his gown, because he's ready for anything. He's very stable. He has a strong foundation. He's very strong-willed. He's very intelligent. He just knows how to do it, and that's you. You got to remember that you're the Emperor. You can handle anything that comes your way. You're going to be able to handle all this also. It's just a process that we're all going through, and you're not the only one. A lot of the readings are coming out like this, so just know that. Then you have the Knight of Pentacles, and why is the Knight of Pentacles here? One more card. So you have the world card, and you have the Seven of Wands. Wow. Okay, so with the Knight of Pentacles, like I said, have patience for everything. You may not be seeing all the results that you want, but just really, really have patience and stop trying to control everything, like trying to make everything come in faster. It's not going to happen that way. Remember, it's in divine timing. Just go with the flow with everything that's going on around you, okay? Let people help you also. If they offer to help you, take it. They wouldn't be offering it to you if it wasn't, meaningful, okay? I feel like you need to believe in yourself and continue to keep going forward, and stand up for yourself when you feel like you need to. I also feel with the World card here, I feel like there is that new beginning that's coming through. You just need that patience, because it is here. You have the Ace of Pentacles here. You have the World card. They're telling you, hey, don't give up. They're telling you, don't give up on anything, because it's going to get good. It's going to get better, okay? Wow. And then you have the Eight of Wands here. And what you need to do now. Why is the Eight of Wands here? One more card. Wow. So you have the Temperance card and the Ten of Wands. So with the Ten of Wands, you're very overwhelmed with everything that's going on. Very overwhelmed. You're carrying everything on your shoulders. The problems, the worry, the frustration, the sadness. You're just carrying it all. You really need to start setting boundaries, okay? Because things are moving fast. Things are going to start moving fast. If you didn't know, they will. Really start setting boundaries, okay? And stop saying yes to everybody. Like, you're going to be doing things for them, and you're going to take their worry away from them. Stop doing that. Set boundaries, okay? You really need to start setting boundaries for yourself. And then you have the Eight of Wands. Like I said, you started off with this card. There's messages coming through. There's sudden changes coming through. You're definitely going to be moving forward, but you also need to do the work and start setting boundaries here, okay? Try to keep everything balanced. You are very divinely guided. Even if you think you're not, you are divinely guided. But you're going through a healing, and you need to try to balance everything. Try to keep everything balanced, and try to be patient and be calm with things. I just feel like you just need to find your patience with everything that's going on and keep everything balanced, okay? That's what you need to do now. And then you have the Six of Swords. And why is the Six of Swords here and what you need to work on? One more card. Wow. So definitely, yeah, you're going through this big transition, transformation, a judgment, a rebirth, whatever you want to call it, because you did come into you do have the Death card here. Okay, so just know that. Really, really, really believe that things are going to get better, because they are, okay? Let go of this past that you're holding on to. You have the Four of Pentacles again. Save money when you can. You're going to need it. I feel like you're going to be traveling very soon. I also feel with the Six of Swords here, I feel like you're leaving something behind. You're going to leave all this behind. There's something here that things are going to get better. Things are going to get calmer. You're leaving the obstacles behind slowly. You just need to let go of that. You just need to let go of the past, okay? And really, with this Death card is a transformation, and you also have the Judgment card. So you're going through a lot. You're going to be going through a lot. There's a lot of change still coming through. So just know that. But things are going to get better. It's just in divine timing, you know, have patience for everything because it will get better. Just believe that it will, and it will, okay? You have the Five of Cups here. And why is the Five of Cups here for Capricorn? One more card. Wow. Okay. So again, you have the Five of Cups, you know, you're in your mind a lot. You're feeling that regret. You're feeling down. You're feeling low. You're feeling depressed. You're feeling, you know, like you've done, you know, there's just a lot of guilt, a lot of anger, you know, still like depressed, still down, you know, and you're in your mind constantly about things, constantly trying to decide what your next move is, what your next decision is going to be, how you're going to do this, how you're going to do that financially. And I feel like you're just constantly in your mind. But you need to really try to go within, you know, really try to go within and clear your mind so you can make good decisions, so you can really see above all this, you know, stuff that you're going through. Because it feels very overwhelming. It feels very overwhelming, and I feel like you're very frustrated, you know that there's a new path here, but yet you're still feeling down. You're not really looking at it. You're like, okay, well, I'll see it when I believe it, you know, I'll believe it when I see it, you know, kind of thing. And you really need to try to move away from that, Capricorn, okay? Because things are going to start shifting for you and for the better. But you just need to have patience. You need to be calm about things and just keep pushing forward and not give up, okay? All right, so, Capricorn, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. God bless.